Thank you for joining us today on the program Woman to Woman. I'm Adorable Adisuwa Sawagia. Today we want to look at how you are coping as a woman with this, should I say economic crunch now, with what is happening in our markets today. How are you coping as a woman? There's so many troubles at home these days, and we don't want women to get hurt anymore, okay? And we don't want you to suffer domestic violence because of food matter and upkeep matter. All right, so we don't want that to happen to you. So we want to talk about how you can cope. How are you even coping? Before we now tell you tips on how to go about it, so that you have your peace of mind, so you don't die before your time, and you don't come down with high blood pressure. And once you have high blood pressure, other ailments will follow. And there's nothing you can do about it. Now palliative we're going to do, and the palliative we're not even saying it. All right, so I have with me Daisy Leo Asikidi. I was tempted to say Obaisambo. All right. How are you, Mrs. Asikidi?
I'm still Obaisambo's daughter.
I do. I know. You're looking well fed.
Of course, I had 7 wraps of pounded yam.
Daisy.
In this economic crunch.
Daisy.
You know,
7 wraps of pounded yam when somebody's out there looking for just a wrap or half a wrap.
So today I told myself I'm going to fill my stomach up to my chest.
Agbabola. That's who you are.
Oh,
all right,
Daisy sang the song.
Now, let's look at the situation. You go to the market. I go to the market. A guest of mine was supposed to be here, couldn't come because of the increase in transportation fare as we speak. You know, a journey of 400,000 or 400 naira is about 600 naira now, or even more. And so she said she cannot drive because she cannot afford to pay 700 naira per liter, and she stays very far, somewhere in Amagba. You know, driving down to Uluku is quite a distance, and so she declined. But luckily for me, I caught Daisy, and so she's a woman. We go to the market and we do everything. So how have you been coping with things?
It's not funny. You know how we used to say when they ask you, how are you surviving? Say, it's by God's grace. So we're not saying by God's grace because it's really by God's grace. We're just trying to be modest. That's how it used to be. But now, when people say it's by God's grace, it's not modesty. It's the truth.
It's the truth.
We are just managing to survive. My daughter's juice, she has this particular juice she likes so much. When I was trying to wean her, someone told me to use it, so I used it, and it's even now worse than stopping her from breastfeeding, because to stop her from taking it now is a problem. And when we started getting that juice, it's small, so it's about 3,000 naira, 3,000 a carton. And would use it
about 24 or 12.
Yes.
Of about 24. Okay.
But the last time I got it for her, it was about 5,005.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, this is just 2 years old. It's not like it's almost twice the amount. Then I went to get another pack recently, and first of all, it wasn't even available. And then I saw it in just one shop, and they were telling me almost 7,000. I'm like, the Lord is telling me that it's time for you to stop taking juice. You know, but there are some things that you cannot really do without. Okay. So your child can stop taking juices.
Some very essential things.
Very essential. I don't know if there's any woman out there that's made stew this week.
I have.
4 balls of tomato, 500 naira. If you not buy, leave them.
They are not even begging you. You can't even bargain.
It's not funny. The price of things are not increasing monthly. They're increasing daily. Exactly. You go in the morning, you hear a different price. By the time you come back in the
afternoon, it's a different price.
So how we're surviving is just by sheer doggedness, the Nigerian factor of no matter what they throw at us, we survive. That's how we're surviving. It's not funny. Nothing is. Couples aren't smiling.
You know, I was talking to somebody who told me that most of us made a mistake of not preparing for today and tomorrow, because the oil subsidy removal ought to have taught us a lesson.
Yeah.
It also have checked us somehow, and then at least help us to know how to cut our expenses. You know, the oil subsidy came, hit everybody once, and For a few days, there were no vehicles on the road, but today we have all adjusted.
We have.
The Nigerian thing, we must survive. Everybody must survive. Now, he told me that during the oil subsidy thing, we ought to have cut down on our budget. Food budget, clothing, you name it, everything we do as women and as human beings. So he asked me a question. Since first subsidy, Adesua, do you still drive your car every day?
No.
Do you still eat the way you eat?
Maybe.
Do you shop the way you shop? You know, what about school fees? Are your kids still in the same school? Or did you take them to another school that you can really afford? You know, most of these questions I didn't have answered to. I was just looking at the man, you know, and then he said, instead of blaming government, what are you doing as a person? What are you doing as a woman to ameliorate the problem you are facing? Because if we go protesting, anything can happen. People can be tear gassed, and then those who have breathing problems may just come down with fatal issues. Somebody can get shot. Anything can just happen. Somebody can get maimed. He said, why don't you check yourself first before fighting government? So that is what we want to do today. Osato, Daisy, Leo, Asikudi. I'm calling all your names now.
In fact, there are still some you don't know. I have some plenty other beginnings.
No, I don't want all those beginnings. So tell me,
well,
since fuel subsidy, what did you do?
I had to do a lot of adjustments. But the statement he said that we didn't save towards it, we didn't prepare towards
for today.
I won't agree 100%. This issue of subsidy removal is not sudden. Since the time of former President Goodluck Jonathan,
but we didn't expect it the way it came.
Exactly. So that's where I was heading. We knew about it. We knew things were going to increase, but we didn't know it was going to deteriorate this bad. So how do you save towards this kind of situation? You do susu and keep in the bank. Do you understand that
even banks don't give that much interest anymore?
Even the monies you have in your bank, even if it's $1 million naira, that's how many dollars today? Your naira is depreciating, even if you're saving.
Our naira. Don't say your naira. As if I'm the only Nigerian.
I'm from Zion. You know, if when I was much younger, my mom used to buy these. It's a very large house, so she'll buy a bag of rice, cheap then. And we eat it till that rice will finish. I've never seen weevil inside rice. But you know now that if you buy rice and you keep it, if you're not careful, you start having weevils inside. So instead I would have bought bags of rice to keep.
And the stones in the supposed parboiled rice is enough to build a bungalow.
So there are just some things you will be able to get and keep. Things that don't have expiration date. When the first question about how we're surviving, I focused a lot of my attention on food because it's a basic thing you must eat. I didn't talk about clothing. We can always adapt. As for clothing, Nigerian fabric is cheap, and it's not of very good quality. But we all know that to sew them is not funny. Those who love to buy the clothes we call the turkey clothes, they buy in dollars. Many of us are not buying anymore. So
you are not buying, but some people is still buying.
I know, I can see.
Now,
you know, but I personally had to change some places I shop from.
Okay.
Then, as for food, I cannot even boldly say I'm eating different now because of the economy. I am eating different, but I don't know if it's the economy that is making it different. I will know in a very short while if it is or if it isn't. So there are a lot of things I would naturally want to eat, but I'm not craving them at the moment, so I just let it go. But after a while, I will know. For school fees, I didn't change the school of my kid. The fees increased. They didn't increase, of course it did. I loved the way they teach. If I get that same standard for a cheaper price, oh my God, I won't need advice. If I'm even going to get that same standard, then I'll also be sure it's close to my location because you will still calculate transport. You can't be penny wise and pounds foolish. So it takes a whole lot of adjusting. You have to let go of some things. If you stay in a 3-bedroom apartment and you are just 4, You can go for a smaller apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment. You cannot downsize to the point that you now enter one room, you, husband, wife, and children.
It's possible. Some people are already doing
They
that.
do it, but is even advisable? You will not touch your husband, your wife will not touch you. Or you think your kids will be sleeping every day, they don't see. All those times they open their eyes
Open
like
one
this.
small eye like that.
So
They are saying.
whether you like it or not, there are some things that you just have to check. Okay, you want to quickly rush and build a house. Do you know how much is a bag of cement now? The only thing I felt I should have done that I did not do was when solar energy came into Nigeria, people were talking about it. They were even the pay small pattern and all that. I should have keyed in 100%, not partial, just solar for fan, solar for fridge.
Because we were still having electricity.
Yes, and
and it was still good.
It was still very good, even till very late last year for my side. Until now, that if not for even the heat now, many Nigerians will never even be talking about the solar still. But we live in a country where we provide everything for ourselves. So yes, I agree that to some extent we did not project, we didn't see ahead. But there's also so much our futuristic plans can cover. It won't cover perishable things. And it's even the perishable things that are choking us
That are,
the most.
that are so expensive in the market now. Okay, now there's a lot of trouble at home. A lot of women are not understanding. Even the husbands are not understanding, you know. Some homes where the women used to get like 20K for feeding, they don't get that much anymore. But the women are asking for more. All right, some women are not understanding what the man is going through out there. And some men are not also understanding what the woman is going through. So how do we come to a compromise now? How can the husband and the wife meet halfway so that we don't have this kind of troubles anymore? So women are backing out of their homes, I can tell you for free. I saw one happen over the weekend when I was going home, and the woman was like yelling, carrying her things, and the man was just sitting quietly somewhere. I was like, what's happening? I will go, I'm tired. You cannot keep me with one guy. You know, this kind of talk. I was like, oh my word. This woman does not understand what is going on. Of course, I'm not wearing the woman's shoes, so I don't know.
There are other things
attached. If there are other things attached, right? So how do we? So please advise me and other women. How do we cope? Because you're looking so good, so well, as if you are not in this our country.
When you eat a day, what do you expect?
For your mind. Okay. For your mind. So tell us, how do we go about food? How do we go about other things that makes life beautiful and, you know, fantastic? How do we cope? Because it's, I don't know. On my way home, I wanted to buy tomato. I just couldn't buy tomato. A lot of us are doing carrot stew now.
Yeah.
People are running away from tomato.
I heard that one.
Yes, I've tried it and it's really good. But it's something you don't keep for long. Maybe carrot stew 2-3 days, you're done. Max 3 days. Light's not even the way you go to freeze them.
Thank you.
All right, so 2 days, you're okay with carrot stew. So it still boils down to the same thing now. So talk to us. How do we navigate these murky waters of economic hardship, if I may say so? How do we do that, particularly as women?
Well,
and our children too. You know, children need somewhere.
They are even the major reasons why we are now so short-tempered. You know, when the child wants something, you can't give it to the child. You feel so much pain. Husband might not be home all day, so the child is practically nagging and asking, and you're already pressured and tensed. Then when the man comes, you just give him. But I think there's a time where understanding comes into it. In most relationship trainings, they'll tell you to marry your friend. This is when marrying your friend helps, because at some point, you as the woman, when your husband give you money to go to the market, they turn off their phones so that you will not call them to tell them in not reach.
Story of one of my oga is
turn off their phones.
It's the one that is just propagating that idea now to men. When you give money, you turn off your phone.
Turn off your phone. You know, the thing is, if you're married to a friend who understands, when you also go to the market with what they gave to you, which you know, one ice fish is 2K. So you wrote a list in the house before you left that you buy fish for 1.5. the fish you're going to get for 1.5 is going to be so small.
Very small.
The next shopping you will do, look for a way that your husband will do the shopping. You'll be home. But whatever I buy, come manage them, because when you will see something, you will hear. But when the man goes himself, he will also understand more that you earned line. Then you also hustle as the man is hustling. Then you know that it's also
bring something to the table.
Exactly. Because at this time, one person not they carry burden. If you put all the load on one person, it's going to say, lean on me, not be press me, die. That the man said, I came to marry you, I will take care of you, doesn't mean you should kill him. And men, just because we also said we are helpmates, doesn't mean you should not offload your entire load and put it on us to help you carry.
To help you carry.
We have to look for a way. Let the man also shop, and then you see, you also go look for money and release your money. We know we don't like to release our money.
No, our money is our money. Yes, our husband's money is our money.
We love to spend your money. We came to Obiageli, we came to chop.
Husband money is sweet. What are you saying?
It's so sweet.
Very delicious.
Like
sweet.
Seriously, women do claim feminism and hide under feminism, say they don't want a man to spoil them.
I don't subscribe to that.
No.
You should spoil me. That's why I'm a woman, yeah.
So that will help. So you know where the man is coming from when he says, this is all I have. And then you also know where the woman is coming from when she says, this is what I could get. So when she's serving you, you're used to 3 big pieces of goat's meat. This time around,
there'll be pomo, there'll be chaki, there'll be mixture, wishi.
Now today she cannot give you 3 pieces. She brings 1. And then you're like, where are the others? You will understand that she couldn't afford to get the others with what's available.
Cut cost now.
Then women, whether you like it or not, I know most women do it. Our women, they try for this side. Most of us have a way of always supporting the money, even if you not talk and reach house. When you get to the market, there are some things you just, I can't let this one go. You will use your money. It will pain you, but you will do it. So don't stop supporting. And men, don't stop appreciating the efforts of your wife. Things are not going to get better in a short while. I think they are going to get worse before they'll get better. While we're still dealing with petrol subsidy removal, and we are talking about the power issue, they've even threatened to disconnect Aso Rock, talk less of your own house. They listed the businesses that are owing. Aso Rock is one of them. CBN is one of them. ICPC. In the billions, they are owing bills.
Can they really go to those places and disconnect? That's another question for another day.
Just imagine if these people, the monies they need to run their business, they are not getting it. You are owing 15,000. Somebody is owing 2 trillion. It's not the same thing. So that light is going to suddenly change. Don't expect it to happen. While we are still talking about all of this, government is saying they want to just remove. They've been paying subsidy on power. In case you don't know, that your NEPA bill you think is high, because you know we still say NEPA till now. You think is high. It's about to get higher. Now they want to remove subsidy from power. So if you have money to go solar, yes, I will not advise you to buy a generator. Apart from the environmental issues, it's going to get very difficult to fuel that gen in a short while. Start thinking of solar.
As if you can afford it, because solar is quite expensive now. Look
for the companies that do the pay small package. There are so many companies that do that. We even advertise, pay small. Instrumental payment, they spread it for as long as
6 months to 1 year.
A company that can risk you paying for a year, I'm not afraid of such companies, because they trust their product. That's why they are willing to allow you split payments. If not, they'll tell you pay and carry, whatever you see, you bear them. So I know of companies that they have solar fans, they have solar televisions, they have solar deep freezers now. So even if you cannot buy the general big solar that you put with solar panels and your inverter batteries, you can start small because it's not going to get better. You need that fridge, because buying in bulk saves us more. If you don't have light to preserve what you bought, it will spoil.
It will spoil.
So first things first now, husband and wife sit down. How do we go solar? How do we go solar? It is not cheap. Those of you that want to jackpot, or those that have people that
Even
have jackpot, let them support it, because
is not cheap.
dollar is not coming down. From the projections we're getting from economic experts,
Yes.
dollar could eat as high as 3,000 before the end of the year. That's the
And
projection.
that's going to hurt really bad.
We haven't seen nothing yet. So prepare for the days. The statement and the presenter started with saying we were not properly prepared for it. Now you know.
Now you know.
So start preparing for worse things ahead. So if it gets better, good and fine. If it doesn't, all is well. You're still prepared. So that's what I'm going to tell you. Need to work as partners now.
What about the fights? Because it will be so unfair for you as a parent to grow children in a toxic environment.
Word.
How do we cop that one? How do we reduce it to its barest minimum? Because the wife's nerves is like this high. The husband's own sometimes can even be higher. You know, everybody's temper is high.
Very. There must be some way you unwind as a person. This is even the time I would advise couple to have more sexual relations, not to have babies.
Why are you advising us?
Yeah,
because it releases stress.
It does. The frequency.
But how do you get into such a relationship when everywhere is hot?
It's hot.
When you're not even happy, the man is not happy. I don't understand
that their husbands weren't touching them because of the
even
heat.
in Port Harcourt, that the husbands are not touching them anymore because of the heat.
Oh, see, people will have to do something. So, for those who could use sexual release to unwind, this is not the time for men to start having side chicks because things are expensive. Side chick is not cheap. Stick with your wife.
It's not a cheap venture at all.
Then, if you can afford, there are some recreational centers that even offer trainings for free. Exercise is one way to relieve stress.
Okay.
It's better you burn
So
out
we've
that
talked
excess
about
energy.
having good sex, exercise.
Burn out that excess anger and energy.
You know, it's easier for a
Than
man
bringing
to go to
home.
one recreation center to exercise,
go together.
but not for a woman.
No,
when
it
you
is.
have chores to
With
do.
your kids. Before I got married
With this kind of work that you do,
I
time
was
for
in
that?
a club. I even have a colleague here who was in that club. It's free.
Okay.
They have their trainings inside Uniben Sports Complex, and it wasn't just that club that was free. There were several of them. So you just go,
just key into any,
and join them, and work out. Now, the colleague of mine here, I'm talking about Thomas Ado. He comes there only on Saturdays. I was going more frequently because at that time I had spare time. I just really got married. I had some time off. On Saturdays, he comes with his wife and all his kids, including the baby. That one just practically runs around distracting all of us. But it was fun. So the kids will also wear sportswear.
Such fun is good for family.
Very good. Then when you get home together, it's not for the man to now put his feet on the table and relax. Like, I've worked out today, I'm stressed, I need a massage. Auntie, Oga, you worked out, your wife did too, and everyone did. So you also do the chores together. This is the time you need to be friends with your partner.
This is the time for bonding, seriously.
Discuss together. Then don't hide things from your kids. The ones that are slightly grown, let them understand
what's going on.
If people do not know what you're bringing, chances are they will demand more from you. Be open. This is not the time to be doing secrets inside secret. Stop those secret affairs. Channel your energy in the right things. Those who believe in God, please pray more. Read books on economic growth and advancement so that you start seeing ahead and projecting better. Those are things that are going to help. You know, there's something someone told me on Sunday, and it stuck from Proverbs. It said, if you give to the poor, you lend to the Lord. He will pay you back later. So he was trying to tell me that
you must indulge in charity.
Exactly. No matter how difficult the times are, you must still find chance to help somebody. Because if you do, God is going to be owing you. I mean, who is a better person to owe me? So if you believe in God, this is the time to draw close to Him. Whatever religion has a way of helping us relieve stress when we pray. Research has shown it. So indulge in more prayers, indulge in sex, exercise. Then rainy season will soon come. You now have vegetables. Eating clean will also help your life.
Then have a small garden in your compound if you have space for it. For those who buy some processed food, you can actually start doing that yourself. Like you want to eat amala, get plantain and do it yourself. You want to eat yams, you know, just have something
sugar.
small and all of that. Reduce
sugar makes us more angry.
Yes. It does?
It does.
Okay, please reduce sugar so that you will not get angrier than you already are now. And love your wife, love your children, love your friends, love your family. And I'm sure all is going to be well. There is light at the end of the tunnel, I can tell you that. Thank you, Daisy, for finding time. You know, let's just work together now, because very soon now, for another how many days we'll not be seeing you. Don't be for here. All right, people. Thank you so much for being with us today on the program, Woman to Woman. Just do the things that Daisy advised us to do, and you will see that you will not be as stressed as you used to be. Some may find it difficult, but just try. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with just a step, you know, step by step, and before you know it, you are there. You are there where Prince O wants us to be. Thank you. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.